But then again, they do know what they're doing, because some of them, when they go up there scoffing, they be with their boys. Remember when we was first out here? It was like 7 of them came up here, and they was trying to joke, but only one of them, he kind of stayed and listened. You know what I'm saying? The other ones were trying to be, you know, you got brothers, even they'll be with their girls and shit, walking, holding hand with their girls, looking at, oh, ugly ass nigga.
Go put these Bibles down, man. Put hands on your ass up there, man. Don't get it twisted, man. When none of the prophets softballs either, man.
Yeah.
Those who don't know, the prophet went on softballs, man.
Yeah.
Lord had to make one of them put his sword down, man. It say 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 34. Awake to righteousness and sin not. For some have not the knowledge of Yahweh.
That's right.
I speak this to your shame. But some man will say, how are the dead raised up? And with what body do they come?
Yeah, because this is Paul basically explaining. Somebody had basically asked him, and I guess Paul was like, this must be a ridiculous question you're asking me. Because what he said in verse 35, he said, thou fool?
36.
Yeah, 36. Basically, you know how somebody asks you a question, and you be like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, I already, what are you talking about, bro?
I already explained it to you.
I already explained it to you. So basically, whoever asked that, because it was probably murmuring, because you know how Jake is, they murmur. Jake, a man is worse than a woman is sometimes when it comes about gossip. You know what I'm saying? I will vouch to that, because I was out there in the world.
The Lord don't want you murmuring either.
You know what I'm saying? He don't want you murmuring either. They murmured in the wilderness, and the Lord struck their ass down.
Yep.
You know?
They say, but some man will say, how are the dead raised up? And what body do they come? They say, thou fool.
Yeah.
Thou fool, that which thou sowest is not quickened except it die.
Now we just read, what we just read in Proverbs, that the fools despise wisdom and knowledge and understanding. So basically he was describing him that whoever came up with that topic, because it had to have been one person, and then they told another person, and then they told another person, just like with that nigga Isaac, because he said me, if you watch one of his videos, he said me and a lot of brothers, you know, we came together and we started talking about some of the things that was being taught to us. Because you ain't gonna have a conversation with just you and yourself. Because Jake ain't like that. If Jake feel like, he love to catch a brother in the wrong. Because if Jake feel like, okay, I got something, this is what it is, I'm gonna tell somebody else.
Real busy, man, so I come out and say this.
It's all good, go out the time, man. We know how it is, first day of school. we was out there. Shit, you know what I'm saying? Because what was on top? Yeah, because it starts with somebody, and then somebody else says it, and then that's how it becomes a full matter. You know what I'm saying? A chain, like a chain letter or just gossiping, man.
Like a trend.
Like a trend.
Person do it. See the person.
You hit them up. Yeah, I think the Sabbath day really is Friday and Saturday. Yo, I was thinking the same thing, bro. You know what I'm saying? You'd be surprised what they be murmuring on camera behind what, you know, they might not be, yeah, they holding up signs, but they might be thinking something else, you know what I'm saying, in the back of their head and their mind, man. You'd be surprised what they thinking about, man. Because that's what Paul said, thou fool. Get it. And I'm gonna get what Yahweh said too. Cause he called a man a fool, man.
1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 36. Thou fool, that which thou sowest is not quickened, except it die. And that which thou sowest not that body that shall be, but bear grain. It may chance of wheat or of some other grain. But Yahweh giveth it a body as it had pleased him, and to every seed his own body.
Yeah, so basically what Paul was basically trying to explain, while I'm trying to find this, keep the spirit going, he was basically trying to explain, he basically shut down that murmuring to let them know that basically all flesh is, because what he said, he said all flesh is, all man's flesh, I believe is one flesh.
They say all flesh is not the same flesh.
Yeah, all flesh is not the same flesh.
But there is one kind of flesh of men.
Yeah, there's one kind of flesh of men. That's what he was basically trying to say. Because whatever the topic was, it was murmuring. You know what I'm saying? It was basically, you know, it was fucking around. It was starting to, you know what I'm saying, build flame and build a fire. And again, it was in the church of Corinth. So those same brothers who Paul had to set straight back then, they still out here now. You know? To this day, man. It's some heavy meat if you read. I mean, the whole scriptures is heavy meat, but it's a lot of heavy meat in Corinthians, man. In the first book and the second book, a lot of heavy meat, a lot of heavy meat. Because the church of Corinth was going through a lot of stuff during that time, man. A lot of stuff. Even Paul had to write to Timothy about a lot of stuff, man, and warn him about stuff. You know? Get on, we bring that out since we touching on the foods. Well, matter of fact, well, this is Luke 12, verse 20. Luke 12, chapter 20. I got you.
Luke chapter 12, verse 20. But Yahweh said unto him, Thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee. Then who shall those things be which thou hast provided?
Yeah, because you got some people, if you read up more, because this is more into that.
I'm going to start at 16. Luke chapter 12, verse 16. And he spake a parable unto them, saying, The ground of a certain rich man brought forth plentifully. And he thought within himself, saying, What shall I do? Because I have no room where to bestow my fruits.
Yeah, because this goes back to all these people right now taking out home loans. Yo, any time when the Lord comes back, it's going to be people that's going to have house parties like, you know,
woman party.
Yep. Because you know how,
new crib.
Yeah, when you just get a new crib, you have a housewarming party. You know what I'm saying? You just get a new car, a baby shower. You know what I'm saying? And all this is going to happen in the midst of the Lord's return. Matter of fact, that's another example of Yahweh Shah calling the fool. Read that, and after that, you get Matthew 7, verse 5. And I found it.
See, Luke chapter 12, verse 1. And he spake a parable unto them, saying, The ground of a certain rich man brought forth plentifully. And he thought within himself, saying, What shall I do? Because I have no room where to bestow my fruit.
Yeah, because this is a man that's basically worrying about what he's basically gonna what he inherited a lot of land.
Yeah.
He's worrying about basically what he's gonna do with his storehouse and everything that he has. He's got everything that's rich, man. And the Lord said your soul is required. So you shouldn't worry about basically what you should put on. You shouldn't take no thought for the day, man.
It said, he said, This will I do. I will pull down my barns and build greater. And there will I bestow all my fruits and my goods.
Yeah.
And
he was planning. He was planning basically what he was going to do. But the Lord has something else different for his ass. Keep reading.
And I will say to my soul, Soul, thou hast much goods laid up for many years.
Yeah.
Take thine ease, eat, drink, and be merry.
Yeah, because he was proud, because a lot of our people are doing the same daggone thing out here.
That's right.
They're not worrying about the times that are at hand.
That's right.
Keep reading.
Let's say, But Yahweh said unto him, Thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee.
Yeah, so this is the Lord calling this man a fool. I thought God was love. I thought he don't disrespect nobody. He called him a daggone fool.
Said, Then who shall those things be which thou hast provided? So is he that laid up treasure for himself and is not rich toward God. And he said unto his disciples, Therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat, neither for the body which ye shall put on.
That's right.
The life is more than meat, and the body is more than raiment.
That's right.
Consider the ravens, for they neither sow nor reap, which neither have storehouse nor barn.
That's right.
Because they don't have a house, man. Ravens don't have a house, they fly in the sky, man. And it's standing in the atmosphere. It's not they home is like a nest, but they flying in the atmosphere.
Yeah. And the Lord still feeds them.
That's right.
The Lord still feeds them.
And they don't worry about it.
They don't worry about it daggone.
Yes, sir.
You just listen, okay.
And it say,
but you're on this sign, just to let you know. You know what I'm saying? The 12 tribes of Israel. This is not basically what whom the word English calls Jesus Christ looked like. You know what I'm saying? Basically, Jesus Christ was a black man. You know what I'm saying? He had woolly hair.
That's right.
All the people of Israel, the Israelites, were basically black. This was the image that was basically painted by Leonardo
da Vinci.
Yeah, that's right.
Because they didn't want to. They were trying to. You cannot.
Trying to whitewash.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So, what are y'all thoughts on this new movie about the Egyptians, where they have is it Brad Pitt?
I heard they making the Egyptians white.
Yes.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Susan Sarandon and
Yeah, I heard about that. Well, like basically, we're not Egyptians because they're Hamitic. We're Shemitic. You know what I'm saying? The Egyptians are basically the Israelites were basically slaves in Africa.
Okay.
Well, not slaves in Africa. They were slaves in Egypt, which is in basically modern day, which we call Africa now, because it won't call it Africa during that time of the Bible. It's called the land of Ham. But yeah, I heard they're basically making like everything like white. It ain't nothing new under the sun. That's what the word Renaissance. Renaissance means rebirth. During the time of the Renaissance, that's when they put this picture up. The word Renaissance means rebirth. You know what I'm saying? Because that's basically what they were all trying to do. Because we were ruling, like contrary to what people believe, King James was a black king.
That's right.
And they whitewashed his pictures. You know what I'm saying? They whitewashed his pictures. And it was all just basically to throw you off of who you are, not letting you know that you are an Israelite of the Bible.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's nothing new. I was looking up online and they were doing some stuff. They were doing this movie about making the pharaohs white. Now, at one time, the pharaohs were white because when Alexander the Great and his 4 generals, they conquered Egypt. So they set themselves up as pharaohs. But once Septimius Severus, which was a black man, he took down the white Roman Empire, it became the Holy Roman Empire. And we ruled from 193 AD up into the 1300s and 1400s. Well, basically, we ruled that part of the Roman Empire for about a good 800, 900 years. And then all throughout Europe. Because the last black king, was King George. King George III. And when you ever read about we taught it in school, and they gonna teach you in school, your kids, your son in school, whatever. We all taught it when the Pilgrims and when George Washington and all of them came over here. They basically came over here trying to find a new land. No, actually they got kicked out. King George kicked them out. He was a black king. He kicked them out because they were basically practicing all sorts of wickedness. You know what I'm saying? Freemasonry. He was against all that. King James was against a lot of stuff, but they defamed his name. They called him a white man, a homosexual, and things of that nature after he died. But we were all ruling throughout Europe and Asia Minor. You know what I'm saying?
So basically what the movie is portraying, because they know that most of our people are waking up. But some people don't want to get the truth, but they know a lot of our people waking up, so they come back to who the Lord say we are. So they trying to put a white image on it, keep us from following in the steps of the Heavenly Father, so He can keep us blind, so to speak. They're trying to keep us blind, trying to keep us gone down.
Yeah, that's pretty much. And basically, what the so-called white man, his name is Esau in the Bible. He came from us because 2 black people. It's a scientific fact. 2 people of color. I hate saying black, but you know what I mean. 2 black people can have a white child, and I'm not talking about an albino, which is like blonde with lack of pigment, but I'm talking about a woman like that. 2 black people can have that. I looked online at 2 Puerto Rican couple, so-called Puerto Rican couple. They had a white child, and it's a well-known fact. You know what I'm saying? Because the white gene is recessive. This is stuff that when we out here preaching, we're trying to get our people. We're trying to wake up the elect of our people to get them back into the law, statutes, and commandments. Because pretty soon, once they crash this dollar, all hell is gonna break loose.
We all are chaos.
You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be World War III.
Y'all just teach out here? Do y'all like?
If you go online to basically YouTube and just type in, I guess, Great Millstone, it'll give you all sorts of links. Because we have camps all throughout Chicago. There's one in Richmond on Broad Street. There's one in they're all over. I mean, we got some in Holland, England. There's the main one is in New York on 37th. I've never been up there. 37th Street. But if you just type in Great Millstone, type in GMS Chicago 26. So that's what I tell. That's easy to remember.
GMS.
Doomsday.
I got some right here.